What is going on, everybody? How are we doing today? I am your host for this lovely show called No Filter Rivals on the KH No Filter Football channel. My name is Marshalldbdx. And to the right of me, your left, right, left, to the side of me,
Come on, get your left and right.
to the side of me, I have one of our guests here, Will. How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right.
Or one of our panelists, rather, not really a guest. You're here all the time.
Yeah.
We're not fucking bringing out the expensive china and the nice silverware for you.
Okay. I see how it is, Marshall.
You're just a regular
Oh,
here. You get plastic. You get plastic forks and knives and paper plates here.
Oh,
jeez,
nice.
so we give you family.
Yeah, you don't even get napkins. You just gotta wipe your fucking. You gotta wipe your mouth on your shirt or some shit. Real Chris, how you doing?
You know what? I'm doing pretty good. Top of the league. Life's great.
Yep, that is absolutely true. Chelsea are top of the league. We will be starting off the show off with that game, and then we'll go back to the Man United game. But guys, before we go ahead and start this awesome show, make sure everyone that is here right now, you smash that like button. If you know someone that would like this show, go ahead and share it to them. Show your mom, show your grandma, show your goddaughter and godson, and show your relatives, your dog, your cat. Make your dog a YouTube account. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already subscribed to the channel. So make them subscribe to the channel, and then make them like the video as well. Spread the love is what I'm trying to say. Also, make sure you check the description below for all of our links. You can see the links there for our Discord, where we do get together to watch the Chelsea games together. In one stream, we all sit down and get to see it all live and happening simultaneously at the same time. None of this watch along BS. You can also see the link to my YouTube channel, where you can see some of my content on there. On the road to 100 subs, so help me out with that. And then also links to Twitter in the description as well. And fair warning, I did go to a concert yesterday, and I don't have much of a voice, so as you can probably hear, I'm a little hoarse, but that's okay. We're like we got that championship mentality, you know what I mean? So we're gonna just push through this. You know, this is the thing. This is the thing that champions do, and champion YouTube channels, whatever. Anyways, guys, thank you for being here. But let's go ahead and start off our show with the lovely result that we got over the weekend as Chelsea fans. Was that first half was, we won that Chalobah ended up scoring. We got the first goal. We got ahead of the game. Like we've been saying for a while, like Chelsea needs to start getting ahead of the game and not being so passive. So we came out aggressive. We got 9 minutes into it. Chalobah scores a goal, which is fantastic for Chalobah. This kid's having a fantastic season under Thomas Tuchel. Fantastic season and way to come back to the Chelsea side and also break into the team. So absolutely fantastic for him. But I felt that that first half we were losing out on a lot of opportunities. Repeat of last season in a sense, right? Some people say we had a bunch of bullets but no gun. Now we have a gun, and for the past few games, now we have a gun but we don't have enough bullets. So today or yesterday's game created a bunch of chances. I mean Saturday's game, I'm sorry, I'm all messed up, guys. Saturday's game created a bunch of chances. That first half couldn't put any of them away, unfortunately. And then the second half happens, and the refereeing in this game was absolutely horrendous. Let's get it right. But that's not to blame for the rashness of Chilwell. Maybe should have just
I think he's a bit rusty.
I think he's rusty, but Chilwell's done this before, where he has,
Yeah.
slid into a tackle in that exact
I don't
area
think
and
he's
given
done it
up a
like that
penalty.
though, has he? He hasn't caused a penalty that rash.
He he has.
As I remember, has he?
I
Has
can
he?
I can recall maybe twice in the past where he will slide tackle and it will be a penalty. Like I think if someone were to look up the stats, I think of all of our defenders, I think Chilwell is probably the one that's cost us the most penalties out of the defense, not other positions, in the past 2 seasons, or at least since Chilwell's
I
been
only
here.
can picture maybe 2 max, like to the
Yeah. It
Southampton
wasn't.
and
It's
one
not
other
many. It's
before.
not like it's an issue, but it has
Yeah.
happened before. He does do this, and maybe Livermento, knew it, and I don't know. Maybe I give Livermento too much credit, but they ended
No,
up getting a
Chilwell just went
penalty,
in rash.
a deserved penalty. Chilwell had an amazing game, but that was the one stain on his whole game, and they end up tying it, unfortunately. And then after that, Chelsea react a little late. It was down to the wire. Ward-Prowse ends up getting a direct red for fouling Jorginho, and rightfully so, which helped us in the long run. I still feel we could have probably gotten a result, but having someone as important as James Ward-Prowse not be in that lineup probably impacted them pretty heavy. Southampton, I mean. So Timo gets his goal. And
He does.
a second goal, actually. It really should have been his second goal, but we'll talk about that. And then Ben Chilwell makes up for his mistakes with a third goal in the 89th minute. Overall, a good result for the team. A good way to react as well. If you guys want to see a much more in-depth review of the game, we did have a stream for it 2 days ago, which you guys can check out over on our YouTube page. If you go on the videos channel, on the videos tab, you'll see the video right there. But real Chris, let's go with you first, man. How do you feel now that this is Timo's second game now that he has scored in the game, and not a penalty, not anything, an open play scored? How do you feel?
Honestly, like I thought that Southampton game, Chelsea and Southampton, that first 45 minutes was Chelsea's best first 45 minutes, and we've been crying out for like a good 45 minutes, like to start with. Like we've been starting off so slow, and maybe Timo's always the answer for that. Like Timo, he creates so much space. He makes our attack so much more fluid. He makes great passes as well. Like he can cross it in low crosses and everything, and it comes deadly sometimes. Like so, Timo, he did get robbed. To me, he got robbed of a goal as well. Like that goal, that header. He's actually worked on his heading. Like he wasn't winning headers last season at all, and this season he's actually winning headers. And that goal should have stood, but like they had to like rewind it like 30 seconds or a minute, like just to find something wrong. And I don't know who called a bad foul. Like, did anyone even scream a bad foul like for Southampton? I didn't see it. It just seemed like they just rewinded it. But like it was a great game, and to me, Thomas Tuchel has to keep with Timo and Lukaku and maybe a Hudson-Odoi or Mason Mount. Like those are the three. Like Kai Havertz can't get in a minute, I don't think, because he's not performing well, and he has to earn his way in, and that's how I should see it. Like of Chelsea, like Timo, people complained about last season. Timo got into the team too easy. He never got benched. It wasn't fair. Like Cho didn't get enough chance, but Timo's actually worked his way back in. In my eyes, he's earned it. So bring on Brentford with Lukaku and Timo. But yeah, it was a great game, and we're top of the league. Chelsea actually top of the league before international break. And we've had the hardest run as well. Like we've had the hardest run.
Will, I want to go on to you because this was not only was it a good performance for Timo, it was a good performance for a few players that don't normally get a chance to be on that pitch. And the one player I wanted to talk to you about was your overall thoughts on Ruben Loftus-Cheek's performance, and does this maybe make it so that maybe he gets considered into the starting lineup more often? Does he get rotated with Conte and all of them? And where does Saul come into all of this? Let me ask you those questions, right? The floor is yours, Will. I cannot talk. I'm sorry.
I'll start with the first question. Do I think he should be considered for the games more now? Of course, 100%. He looks like he's in good shape. He looks it's the most the best Ruben we've seen since Maurizio Sarri's days at Chelsea. Is he ahead of Saul in the pecking order at the moment? Yes. But as much as I love Ruben, I don't want to get too ahead of myself because if Saul gets a chance, let's say we give Saul a chance against Malmo and we give Saul another chance, a few more chances next month. If he plays brilliantly in those games, he can move right back up the pecking order and other players can move down. So I think it's early on. I do want to hold the horses with Ruben at the moment. I thought his performance was really good. Very complete performance. Moved the ball quickly, switched the play nicely, held off his opposition. Every time he got the ball, he was driving at the players, something that him and Kovacic are very good at. Probably the two best players in our squad that are fully fit at the moment that can drive at players. But yeah, it was a really good performance, and I'm really happy for him because he deserves it. He performed under Sarri, and we thought this is it. He's going to be our star boy. And sadly, he got that horrible injury. And it gives me a bit of hope for players like Callum Hudson-Odoi and even Christian Pulisic a little bit. It gives me a little bit of hope that if he can get back to his best and fully fit again, I think maybe Callum and Christian can. Oh, did I cut out?
Yeah, for a second. No, it's fine. You're fine.
Yeah, just for a minute. We thought Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, sorry.
We thought Mark Zuckerberg took you. Mark Zuckerberg.
Oh no, I didn't. But yeah, did you hear what bit did I get up to?
Honestly, it's like a split second. You cut out for a split second. I was going to ask you about Ruben anyway. Since you stopped, it looks like Ruben. It looks like the Ruben from like Sarri days. Like Ruben looked promising there, and it looks like he's back to that again. And hopefully, like he doesn't get injured because if he doesn't, and he keeps the form, it can look like a promising player. Like he can play DM, he can play centre mid, he can play wing, like right next to the striker. He's a promising player for rotational as well. Like so, that excites me as well. About
Chris, can I sort of add on to your point and also play devil's advocate? If you're at the same time, if you're Thomas Tuchel, I look at our midfield options and I think, yes, other players have been in great form, but when they're fully fit, do you think you've got to play one of Jorginho and Kante? I think when they're both fit and ready to go, I think you've got to play one of them. I think Kovacic on form is our best midfielder, but I think overall, I think Jorginho and Kante have proven enough, especially last season, the Champions League run, that one of them has got to play. They're both so crucial. So I think Kovacic is undroppable at the moment. I think Kovacic is undroppable. Yeah. Ruben, I think, should start against Brentford because I think it could be a game for him.
He could play the right side attacker and maybe Timo and Lukaku because he can be the guy who drops it in and like pushes it forward.
That's another thing. You could actually play Jorginho / Kante with Kovacic and Ruben. That can be a thing. Yeah, Ruben's very good as an advanced 8. I think him and Mount are very good at it. You could argue that he's better technically. You could argue Mount's better off the ball. So I think they both bring qualities, and it's great options to have. It's very good.
Chelsea have a lot of options. It's insane.
They do, but I feel that I think something that doesn't get spoken about enough with the Chelsea squad is we do have a lot of options, but Thomas Tuchel seems to like to stick with a certain 11. I think he is trying to find his starting 11 and sticking with it, which is why when you think about it, how many times we saw Marcus Alonso on the left wing back, how many games in a row he would play Kovacic on and Jorginho, how many, he's not rotating Romelu at all, which, I mean, I don't want him to, but he's not doing it. And how many games we've seen Ziyech and Havertz play, one could argue that it's very possible that this team in recent, games that we've seen with Juventus, the poor performance against Juventus, the poor performance against you could even argue Zenit, the poor performance against Man City, that maybe this Chelsea team is a little exhausted because we just have so many games. Like, we're one of the few teams that are playing 2 games a week essentially. You know, Man City are doing it, Liverpool are doing it, and so are Man United. But outside of that, I mean, you could also say like West Ham and stuff, you know, and they have the worst of it. But you know, these other teams, they're not doing the double game weeks like, you know, Chelsea are. And I feel like that doesn't get spoken about enough. There is a little bit of exhaustion. So seeing the rotation in the midfield and in the attack, especially with Callum, like, and that's something I wanted to bring up real quick before we move on to the next games. But Callum Hudson-Odoi, to me, not an outstanding performance per se, but a good one. It was a solid showing, especially that first half. Solid performance. Considering how poor all of our attacking options have been, he gets a shout for me to stay in that left wing position, to stay in that lineup. I mean, it's better than having nothing work. You know, it's something. He was creating some opportunities, and if VAR didn't decide to say, "Oh, let's check the play 17 seconds before the goal," Timo
it was more
had,
than 17 seconds, wasn't it?
something like that.
It was
Timo
like
would have
30
had
at least.
his first goal, you know, it would have been 2 goals for Timo on the night,
Should have been a
and
goal.
Callum would have had an assist. You know, like,
Yeah.
Callum looked good. He didn't look amazing. He wasn't like spectacular. He wasn't like
You expect that, don't you?
individualistic, like fucking Ronaldo in his prime, kind of like, you know, amazing, or an Eden Hazard performance, but it was good. And what we need is good, considering what we've had recently has been poor. Chris, I want to go to you. What do you think?
Yeah, you as well. Like, Kai Havertz is like, talk about poor. Like, Kai Havertz has been poor. Like, he's not finding his feet again. Like, I don't want to see Kai Havertz like starting poor for halfway through the season and
I
literally
believe
fix up.
Kai Havertz, and I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I believe
No, that's fine.
Kai Havertz this season has 0 dribbles completed.
Oh,
Let that sit in. Let that sit in.
That can't be true, surely.
This Prem season, it's either 1 or 0. Has 0 dribbles completed. That's how poor he's been.
And it's not even just that. Like,
and it's not just him. It's not just him either. Like, let's get it right.
Yeah.
Like, Mount's been poor. Like, Mount came into that game, created the opportunity for that goal that Lukaku should have put away. Let's be honest, Lukaku should have put that away. But then Aspie managed to hit the bar as well, and it landed on Choa, and Choa put it away, which is fantastic. He did create that, but other than that, I want to see better, more consistency. Mount was more consistent last season than he's been this season. So for his standards, he's been poor as well. You know, Ziyech.
Oh yeah.
There's no
Ziyech
final
don't
ball
have time
there.
on his hands, does he? He don't have time.
Yeah.
He don't have time.
And he doesn't. He doesn't. At this rate, he might be gone in January, and I wouldn't even be upset about it. You know, like, but to see Callum do what he did, it was nice. It was a breath of fresh air because we needed a performance like that. We needed good. We needed something better than what we've been getting. So what were you going to continue saying, Chris? I'm sorry, I interrupted.
I was going to say about Kai Havertz. It's not about just his dribbling. Like, when he has the chances given to him, like, we saw him like completely miss the hits. Like, he's missing the ball completely. Like, he wasn't even hitting it. And I don't know what's happened to him. Is he still drunk from the Champions League final? I don't know. And even with Mason Mount, like, Mason Mount hasn't looked great this season. He's had a couple. I thought the Arsenal game was a good game, and I think he had another decent game. I think he's looked slightly better than Havertz. Like, Havertz, I can't really name a really good game he's had. Maybe the Liverpool game, I thought Havertz did alright. But like, yeah, they've both been poor, and this is why Timo and Hudson-Odoi or anyone else like that is getting like a foot in, and they might actually start the next game against Brentford. So, you know what, Mason Mount and Kai Havertz have to fight for their position again, because, you know, it's not easy at Chelsea.
I can't lie though. Obviously, I was in the stadium for the game, and from what I saw, and I'm not saying this is the right opinion necessarily. I'm not going to say that, but I actually didn't think he was that bad when he came on. I can't lie. From what I saw,
yeah, he's okay. Yeah,
that might be because of maybe at the game, you sort of get caught. Your attention gets caught by, like, I think more of the physical aspects of the game. I think that's what catches your eye more. That's why against Villa in the Cup, when I went to that, I thought that Saul had a good game, but everyone else was telling me, "Oh, he was shit. He was that. he was this. But I saw him make a few
It's
great
okay.
tackles, and I thought he was
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
so yeah, that's just my thoughts on Mount's game against Southampton.
No, you're right. He didn't do bad. Like, he actually created a good chance for Lukaku, but Lukaku somehow missed it.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
even we didn't even talk about Ross Barkley, have we? Ross Barkley, he looked good actually. You know what? Barkley under a good manager, he might look decent. So, and that ball to who was it? To Aspie?
Yeah, it was to Aspie.
That was a beautiful ball.
Fantastic.
If that was Kevin De Bruyne, they'd be talking about it, wouldn't they?
Yeah, exactly.
What a pass! But it's Ross Barkley,
But instead
he's the average Ross Barkley.
Ross Barkley De Bruyne, like it was. It is what it is. I've been telling everyone that during the transfer saga, I was saying to everyone, let's see what these players do and look like under Thomas Tuchel. Even fucking Marcus Alonso has improved under Thomas Tuchel. So this is what I mean. This manager, this coach, he's doing bits. He's doing bits. So let him do his thing. And Tuchel, we trust. I'm gonna get that shit tattooed on my dick. That's how much I trust Tuchel at this point. It's ridiculous. I love this man. He's getting the best out of every single one of our players, and we're seeing it. We're seeing it with our very own eyes. Everyone's been improving. Ruben has improved. Ross Barkley has even improved. Even Kepa. Like, come on, guys. So,
yeah, Kepa's gone back to old South. I think.
Who else? Like, he can't work miracles. So, like, Bakayoko, I'm sorry, bro. You're gone. You're gone.
Bakayoko's a lost soul.
Yeah, Bakayoko's a lost soul. He didn't even know what number he wears anymore, bro. Like, he's lost. He doesn't even know he's
and Danny
playing football or rugby.
Man.
Yeah, and Drinkwater. He can't work miracles, but still, he can do really well with what he has, and he's been doing a fantastic job. So that was a Chelsea game. Again, if you want to see our more in-depth review, we did have that 2 days ago. Go check that out on the KH No Filter Network. The fucking channel. Also, and I forgot to mention, if you guys are watching this in the future, leave a comment down below. We do read the comments. We have seen some of you guys' comments, and it's been awesome to see you guys comment your opinions and what you think about the game. But let's move on to the game that happened before this one, which was the Man United versus Everton game. And boy, oh boy. I thought Man United was supposed to compete. Like, what's happening?
I really did.
What's happening, Man United? You got all gassed up because you got Jadon Sancho. You got all gassed up because you got washed up Varane. And listen, man, Jadon Sancho didn't even start. Jadon Sancho didn't even start. Cristiano Ronaldo didn't even start. Like, what's going on here? What's happening? Ollie at the wheel. Unable to get a result unable to keep a result against Everton. Martial finally getting on the scoreboard after 20 centuries, and a very lucky goal. Chris, you say it's a deflection. Me and Will say it wasn't a deflection.
I have to watch it again.
Pickford reacted to where it was going, so that tells me it's not a deflection. I just think Pickford absolutely poor reaction. And should have blocked it, but didn't end up blocking it. That was a terrible finish from Martial. So lucky Man U getting ahead of the game, 1-0 at that point. But then the man on form, the bootleg Sui merchant, Andros Townsend, getting the goal, which De Gea maybe should have reacted to, but even worse than De Gea was fucking Fred.
Fred, yeah.
Oh my God, Fred getting bullied by a kid smaller than him. Fred got bullied by Damari Gray, who's having a fantastic season. Let's get it right. Damari Gray is doing bits right now. But yeah, Damari Gray passes it to Decore, I believe, and then Decore slides it on over to a wide open Andros Townsend. Like, what is the Man United defense doing? And then he puts it away. And the game ends 1-1. Unfortunately, Andros Townsend could not get his Ronaldo's kit because Ronaldo felt the disrespect. But regardless, This
Townsend,
is not.
wait, Townsend, the reason why he did it actually is because he looks up to Ronaldo as a kid, everything. Like, the reason he did it, he said he may have messed up the celebration a little bit, because it was a bit of a mess up when he did.
He definitely
Yeah,
did.
but
That
he
was
just
not
looked
a
up to
smooth
Ronaldo.
sailing.
When he was a kid, he practiced the step-ups, the free kicks, everything. So that's the reason why he did it. He just wanted to show his appreciation. It wasn't actually to mock him, apparently, but it was funny to say, though.
It did come off as mockery for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, this isn't good for Man United. All these signings, and they're not getting results where they should be getting results. You saw they drew against Southampton, a team they should be beating, and Everton. Again, like, don't get me wrong, Rafael Benitez doing a really good job with Everton. They're getting results and they're playing good football, but still, Man United, man for man, player for player, have the better squad. And this is still an Everton without their best player, which is Calvert-Lewin, being injured. There's no excuse for losing that kind of a game, or even conceding the goal that they conceded, which, if you guys look at the replay, the defense, what are they doing? What are they doing? Maguire isn't showing leadership in the back, or I don't know what's happening, that he can't organize the defense better. Varane, being the experienced defender that he is, you have great wing backs, or great defensive backs in Luke Shaw and Wan-Bissaka. What is going on with this team? Real Chris, do you know?
To me, I'm gonna blame it all on Ollie, because you literally bench Ronaldo. Fine. You want to rest Ronaldo, fine, but you take off your best creator, Pogba, as well at the same time. You don't do that. I don't think you should do that. Like, you messed up there massively. So taking off Pogba and Ronaldo was a huge mistake of Ollie. Ollie's just not good enough, honestly. To me, Ollie's probably like, what, 18th worst manager in the league? I don't know. Like, he's just that bad. So he has to rely on, like, people like Bruno, Pogba, Ronaldo, or even Greenwood, man. Like, because Greenwood's actually really good. So Ollie's I think he's the main reason. The system, the tactics, the changes, the subs. Like, Ollie is a huge, what's it called? It's just a huge mess for United. He's just a huge mess for United, really. Like, he's just not good enough. Like, he's dropping a lot of points. Like, United's not even faced anyone good yet this season. And they got to have, 7 games roughly in a row against all the big teams? They got Chelsea, they got Man City, they got Liverpool, they got Tottenham, they even got Arsenal. They got all the big games to go through. And can Ollie really survive that? I don't know. Maybe he can, because he is a cockroach, so he might survive it.
I mean,
it's just all on Ollie for me.
I disagree with you with this opinion, but you don't rate West Ham, and they did get a result against West Ham. Like, you gotta kind of give him credit with that one.
Yeah, but they're not a big team.
Right. You're right. No, they're not like the traditional Big Six team. They're not Man City. They're not a Spurs. They're not Chelsea. They're not
they've had no one, and they've had 2 draws and 1 loss.
Arsenal, but Arsenal's not a big team anymore.
Yeah, but they have the rivalry though, and that mentality changes when they play against each other. It doesn't matter if they're crap or not.
Yeah, no, 100%. First of all, guys, smash the like button. Smash the like button for the Make-A-Wish manager, Ollie.
Yeah, he needs it.
Yeah, no, he needs all the luck he can get. But this has been. And I agree with what you're saying. I think a lot of it has to do with Ollie. A lot of it too is that I just don't. Other than Jadon Sancho, I don't think their signings were all that great. I really don't think Varane is all he's cracked up to be. And it's starting to show a little bit, given the benefit of the doubt, new league and all that stuff. Yeah. I get it. But I just didn't think the Varane that Man United was being sold is the same Varane that they're getting. Like, definitely a different Varane. And, I've been saying this for a while, Chris. Jadon Sancho. We all know Jadon Sancho was going to take some time to develop. Yeah, not develop, but mesh into the team,
get used to the
Prem again. Because he didn't play too much under Pep. I don't think he did.
No, he didn't.
And who else did they sign that
you know
hasn't
what?
been?
Hand on heart, though,
Oh, Ronaldo.
this team under a good manager, a serious manager, even like someone like Tuchel, they will do a lot better. They would actually be a threat to the Premier League, but because they got Ollie, they won't be a threat. I actually don't worry about United. I worry about Liverpool because they got Klopp. Klopp can do wonders. He knows. He knows his like
Klopp
system
knows
and
what he's
everything.
doing.
Pep. You don't even need to explain it with Pep. Pep's like a brilliant manager. He's got a brilliant team. I'm scared of them more than Man United. Man United can have this fantastic team. Well, it looks like a Ferrari and everything, but they won't be scary because they got an idiot
Pep's got
driving
the
it.
Infinity Stones, man. Pep is Thanos. We went over this last time, man. We went over this last time.
No, they just got an idiot
the
driving
thing is,
it.
like, I think the thing is though that they focus on all these positions, and mind you, like we're seeing United right now without Rashford. Obviously, let's see how they play when they get Rashford. I don't know if Rashford's going to make that big of a difference when he comes back, but that is something you do have to take into mind. However, I think this transfer window, I know people are saying like, "Oh, United won the transfer window. United won the transfer window." Did they really though? Like, they needed a DM. That was their most. That was their most pivotal part. Like, most important position that they needed to reinforce, and they failed to do so. And you're seeing how it's affecting them. For fuck's sake, it's what cost them the game. Like Fred is not good enough for this team. McTominay, he has his moments. He has his moments.
Not good enough.
Yeah, but I don't think he's good enough either. You guys,
Declan Rice would be good for United, honestly.
But Declan Rice would be good for United. I admit it. And Declan Rice has been playing fantastic so far this season. Like, let's get it right. Like, Declan Rice has been playing really well this season so far. But
and last season
they really needed to reinforce on it. And like, although they got Ronaldo, and that's a great signing, and that's huge for them.
They got a few good signings this season. Sancho,
Edison Cavani, like he's a great player, and he's proven that he can still do it at the very top. But how much longer do you have on Cavani? It's not like you need that position in particular with a center forward or a striker. They need to move a lot. They need pace. And, you do lose that as you get older. Whereas a defender like Thiago Silva, they don't really need to move too much. They need to be better positioned. You could argue the same thing also for a striker. But, you could have gotten away with still playing with Cavani, not getting Ronaldo, but having that proper DM. And even Cavani doesn't need to be the striker all the time. So, I don't know. I just think we'll see what happens with this team. We'll see how it goes moving forward. But it's gonna only get harder for Man United. Their next few fixtures, let me pull it up here.
People need to pray for United.
Yeah, you gotta pray for United. Seriously, pray for Ollie. Like that should have been the title. Pray for Ollie, because their next few games, including Champions League games, by the way, Leicester City, Atalanta, Liverpool, Tottenham, Atalanta at home, Man City, and they get a little bit of a break. It does suck. They get a little bit of a break with Watford, but then they have to face their kryptonite, Villarreal, Chelsea, Arsenal.
Oh, they're done for Chelsea.
It's like this is a crazy lineup. This is a crazy run of fixtures for them. They were supposed to get good results now, and they've dropped points in games they shouldn't have dropped points.
I honestly, start of the season, I honestly thought when I looked at the table, like their fixtures, I thought, this is when they go stat pad on the small teams, they go get wins, they go like hyping up, we're gonna win the league, and then they go to the big teams. They're failing already. Like, they're fucked up already. They go against the big teams. They got no hope.
It's really shit. They were supposed to pick up points and really rack up all their points now because they have the really hard fixtures coming up. And now that they're not picking up points against Southampton, now they're barely scrapping wins against West Ham. They're barely scrapping a win against fucking whatever other team. And they're dropping points against Everton, which is an Everton without a Dominic Calvert-Lewin. They don't have their best attacking side, Everton. What are they going to do against tougher teams like us, like, Atalanta, like fucking whoever else I named, Tottenham?
Yeah.
Like, they're bound to drop points even
will give that
more.
defense some run for their money.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, but it seems like October is not Ollie's month. It really isn't. Same thing happened last season. Yeah, it's his time of the month.
That little crap.
Will, what are your thoughts of the game and just United overall?
I used to see why some United fans wanted Ollie in because he did a decent job over the last 2 years getting in the top four, but I think it's at a point where not like what happened with us with Lampard, because Lampard definitely overachieved more than Ollie, in my opinion. In Lampard's first season, anyway. I feel like Ollie was a good transition manager, to help them build a good squad, and I think now it's time for them to go out and get an elite manager.
I hope not.
Zidane just has United all written over it.
Do you think? So you think Zidane can actually go there? Because Zidane always says I'll stay at Real Madrid, either behind the scenes or whatever, or as a manager. Can you actually see him going to United?
I don't. Maybe Zidane's holding out for maybe the France job in a few years. Maybe he wants to have a break. If they can't get Zidane, I think they should give Luis Enrique a massive pay package, or even Mancini. So one of the two. I think Conte would win them things, but if they want to win and build something sustainable, I think one of the three out of Zidane, Mancini, and Enrique are great options.
Fair enough. And
I
you know
agree.
what? Listen, United fans. When Poch gets sacked from PSG, there's an option right there too. You can finally have Poch.
Could happen.
You can finally have Poch.
Poch would be a lot better than Ollie, I'll tell you that.
Listen. Poch is gonna get sacked. You heard it here first.
He is as well.
It's gonna happen. He can't. He already has he's already headbutting with Lionel Messi. So that locker room is toxic masculinity all over it.
I don't think that it's necessarily all Poch's fault of what's happened at PSG.
No,
I just think
he can't deal with egos. No way.
He's definitely not the manager. He's not a Jose or a Pep that can deal with that kind of a locker room.
PSG are trying to build a brand more than a great orchestrating football team. I feel like you've got Messi, a Neymar who's gets a lot of injuries these days, and Mbappe who's amazing but doesn't really want to be there. You've got quite an imbalance in the midfield with Verratti, Paredes. They really need another option in there because they didn't have to play players like Gay and at times I know he's played a mixture of defence and midfield. Danilo Pereira, who's awful. They got Wijnaldum, who we even saw at Liverpool. He was good at Liverpool, obviously, but I feel like Klopp never really got the best out of him because at Newcastle he was almost like a second striker. And he plays like that for Holland as well. So, yes, on paper they've got an excellent players. I don't think they have an excellent team.
Yeah, I agree, but I don't want to dive too into PSG. This isn't this isn't No Filter Rivals fucking League edition.
Yeah, or
Jesus Christ, bro.
Europe Rivals.
Anyways. But anyways, guys, let's move on to the next game in the calendar that happened this weekend. And that game, oh my God, this game. Oh, this game. What a great first half that Brighton should have won. But second half was so dead. Oh my God.
I was watching you guys, Yeah,
we were watching it together. And let me tell you, so Brighton versus Arsenal, 0-0. Looking at the stats, Brighton had 21 shots. 21 shots, only 2 of them were target. 59% of possession. This had a Brighton win written all over it, but Mopé, Duffy, who's the other one? Dunk, Cucurella, all of them. Lallana, none of them could finish. But I will say this. For a Brighton team that I don't think anyone expected them to really be a standout team this season, they have been aside from Brentford, they have been pulling some really good performances. They have really good football. Will, I don't know if you happened to catch that game, but
I wasn't, unfortunately, but I saw the highlights.
yeah, what'd you think of the game? What you saw the highlights?
Can't believe Dunk missed that. That was.
I know.
I feel like
Yeah.
it was one of those games where
They had a few of those, by the way, not just Dunk. Like they had a few of the ones.
From what I heard on Twitter and from what I obviously saw from extended highlights, I feel like it was one of those games where it was almost set up for a scrappy Arsenal win. Like Brighton miss all these chances, have all this possession, and it's just not their day, which it hasn't been their day over the last couple of seasons, creating lots of chances under Graham Potter and just not scoring them. It almost felt like a bit like a Brighton performance from last season. And then maybe Arsenal, I think Smith Rowe could play him, was it Saka? At the end, and he fucks it up. So I think Brighton deserved to win, but
they definitely did.
They definitely did.
It was still
they were
on
the better
paper.
team.
On paper, if you look at the two two clubs, I guess it's not an awful result for Brighton.
I mean, it's definitely not a good result for Arsenal, considering that they need as many wins as possible, considering that horrendous start that they had, where they didn't even score a goal for the whole month of fucking August. You saw the game with me, real Chris.
Yeah.
What's
I
going
even saw
on
Arsenal fans' reactions to it. With Arsenal, it's another same story with like the same as United in a way. They got another inexperienced manager.
Mind you, and I forgot to mention this, and sorry real quick, I think this is going to add to your point. The lineup that Arteta put out there should be good enough to win this game. Tierney, Gabriel, White, Tomoyasu, Ramsdale. They played a 4-2. According to this thing, it said 4-2-3-1. I don't know. Well, they did have a double pivot. Lokanga, who, he actually looked decent. Thomas Partey, Saka, Odegaard, Smith Rowe, Aubameyang. So this is a side that should be able to get a result, and they didn't. So yeah, real Chris, continue.
Honestly, I want to say Arsenal fans are shamed. They talked about Chelsea not beating Man City, not scoring past them. And when their team bottled it against, Brighton? Yeah, Brighton are they're like fighting for top 4, top 6, whatever. Like, Brighton, you can score past them easily. Like, they're not like defensively like a masterclass. They play attacking football, and you couldn't even score one. And Brighton was all over them. Like, they had 20-something shots. It was actually embarrassing for Arsenal. And that's the thing with Arsenal. They have an inexperienced manager who's not good enough for Arsenal. Again, I think he's a decent coach, a decent whatever manager, like for a young one, but he shouldn't be taking on a job like Arsenal. Arsenal as a mess, like they're huge of a mess.
He's
of a
too
club,
inexperienced, isn't he, Chris?
Yeah, they got overhyped after the Tottenham game, but they forget Arsenal always beat Tottenham at their ground anyway. So why are they surprised when they win anyway, like against Tottenham? And Tottenham was in bad form, so they got overhyped and then they got put back to reality against Brighton. And that's just Arsenal. It's a 0-0 game. There wasn't much in there. It's just like Brighton should have won. They had 20-something shots. That's something when you see on the FIFA stats, like, how the heck did my team not score any of those chances in that game?
I can't lie. I can't lie though. With Arsenal, you look at it as if they can get a massive upgrade on Arteta, and a massive upgrade wants to come in. I think you sack Arteta and you get that upgrade. But if they don't have a massive upgrade lined up that wants to come in and wants to be there for the long run, you might as well just stick with him and admit you're crap and just build with him for now until you're good enough for a better manager to take over. I think Arteta's a good coach.
Yeah, he's just not good enough Arsenal.
He's just not great. And they for a club of that size, you need to have a great manager.
No, and I think that's a fair assessment. I really do.
Conte would be good for him.
Yeah, I mean,
I think Conte would,
I guess.
Yeah, but Conte probably wouldn't take the job. It's a mess.
Exactly. I don't think Conte would take the job considering how fucking shit.
Do you know what? If they
mess
I wouldn't do this if I was Arsenal, because I don't think Ten Hag is an excellent manager.
Mm-hmm.
But if they were
to sack Arteta,
Yeah, he is better than Arteta. If they were gonna, I don't think he's a massive upgrade. He's still a relatively big upgrade. Then they should just go and get. If they're gonna sack Arteta, get Ten Hag. And he's wanted to. I know he signed that deal with a 1-year extension, but that was obviously to get more money and price Tottenham out of buying out his contract. But he wanted to join. Do you remember in 2019 at the end of it when what's his name? Kovac got sacked from Bayern Munich. They were lining up either Hansi Flick or Ten Hag, and they decided to go with Hansi Flick. So I think Ten Hag would take the Arsenal job.
Speaking of Hansi Flick, was that this weekend or last weekend? No, that was last weekend where he was just in England, just watching games or some shit. I don't know why. But
Probably for the German national team.
Maybe as well. United might sack Oli. That's in talk.
He was at the Liverpool game though. There's no German players at Liverpool, just a German coach.
What game was that?
The game last week.
Gundogan didn't play.
I don't know. I mean, he's
not the Man City game. Not the Man City.
Maybe just want to watch some Premier League football, you know.
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
he's the German. He is the Germany manager now. You know, it might be a bit boring in between.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they have some work to do over the course of the international break, anyways. But yeah, that game was overall dead, anyways. Brighton really should have scored. Brighton need to figure out a situation where. I mean, Welbeck's not fit again. Probably, I don't know what's happening. He's also not the most reliable finisher. They need someone who finish those opportunities and chances because they do create a lot of chances and they do create massive opportunities as we saw in that game. So, before we continue on, guys, just a quick recap. Make sure you guys smash that like button, especially if you like seeing Arsenal look as bad as they do. If you're watching this in the future, leave a comment down below. Let us know what you think of the games. If you agree or disagree with anything we said previously, make sure you share if you would like to. Subscribe if you're brand new to the channel, and check out the description below. You can join us on our Discord. You can see our Twitter links, and as well as my YouTube link for my personal channel where we do some gaming and stuff. And now that it's October, we're doing like spooky games and such, so you don't want to miss them. Let's go ahead and move on to the Tottenham versus Villa game. The game that ended up being a Tottenham victory, a 2-1 victory to Tottenham. So game opened up with a Heung-min Son, I think, was man of the match this game, from what I could tell.
100%.
Just creating so many chances, opportunity. Harry Kane is a shell of the player he was last season, or even any season before that. Absolutely not even barely in the game. From what I could see, and he's just not Harry Kane anymore. So Son has stepped up. Son getting a wonderful assist to Emil Højbjerg, who had a great finish. Let's get it right. It was a nice finish. Gets a nice little goal from outside the box. Ollie Watkins, in very Ollie Watkins fashion, on the second half, gets a goal, ties it up. And then it says here it's an own goal from Matt Target. I don't know if it is an own goal. Maybe like on the way in it deflected. But I think it was Son that scored that one, I believe, right? Heung-min Son, and then they're saying it's an own goal from Target.
It was What happened was he crossed it in. Look, the thing is, it was gonna be Lucas's goal anyway if it wasn't gonna hit
Lucas,
the guy.
Lucas Moura,
yeah. What happened is Son crossed it in. It's gone to Lucas. The guy touched it, and it looked like Lucas hit it as well, but it is an own goal. So Will's lucky on that hand anyway.
I don't
draft.
care about fantasy. I really don't care. I just want Marshall to be happy.
There you go. But
Marshall's lucky.
So Tottenham getting a result like they needed to because they had some bad games coming up to this. They really needed a result. They need that team though. If we have to be honest, they don't just need results. They need Harry Kane to show up again. They really do.
He's embarrassing.
I don't think. It's embarrassing how bad Harry Kane has been. I don't think he scored a single goal yet.
They need to fucking get rid of him. And that's not because
where does he get the right? Where does he get the right though? No, but where does he get the right? Like he's the one who signed the contract and everything.
Yeah,
like,
it's
he
true.
should be outperforming. He's on what 200 plus K a week. He doesn't have the right.
Yeah, it's true.
Act like a man and just get on with it.
I'm not being reactionary and saying Kane's bad or anything. He's still one of the best players in the league overall. But
he's just being a child.
Yeah. You know,
he's not getting his way, and
less goals in the Premier League than Timo now. All I'm gonna say.
And Timo's played a lot less, I think. So
we're coming for. Do you remember on week 2 I said Timo would outscore Jota in all comps? You know, we're coming for that.
I don't think Harry Kane's going to get more than 10 goals this season. The way it's going with him, who knows? He might be gone in January. Like, might be a shocker. City actually might go with him because they might think, oh, Chelsea going for the Premier League, Liverpool are fighting strong, and they might need a striker. So you never know. You might see that.
Playing devil's advocate here, or just throwing an idea out there, with City, surely, I'm sure they still want Harry Kane because they recognize that this player is the player that he is. He's made a name for himself, and that the player that's playing right now with Tottenham isn't the real Harry Kane. They know he's upset, but I will say this: what if Sheikh Mansour sees these performances or whatever, Man City sees performances that Harry Kane's putting up and decide that maybe it's a form thing. It's not so much that he doesn't want to be there, and decide that maybe he isn't the best option for Man City and go for someone else. What do you guys think of that? What do you guys think of if Harry Kane gets stuck in Spurs?
It depends, because you're looking at other players in world football. Obviously, Benzema's a bit old. I don't think they'll go for him. Haaland, I think, will go to Real Madrid.
Not Chelsea? Not the South?
No, Chris. No, we're not doing this again. But I'm trying to think. I think Lewandowski is going to go to PSG on a free. Matt Law did a...
you think?
Yeah, Matt Law did a piece on it, actually. A very good piece. He was saying...
but they got Messi, Neymar. Unless Neymar goes...
They're just going to monopolize.
It's going to be an Mbappe. No, it'll be an Mbappe replacement. That's the plan.
Yeah, one of the two have to go.
Because Chelsea apparently are interested in doing business with Bayern Munich with someone. We don't know what it's going to be.
I'd take Goretzka.
Yeah, that costs like 200 million, Chris.
Wait, Chris, can you say it again?
I'd take Goretzka. Why?
Goretzka.
Oh, come on. I'd just say Goretzka. Come on.
Goretzka. Yeah.
Poor Goretzka. Right. He's not a world-class midfielder, Chris. Just for you to call him that. Come on, man.
Yeah.
He's not world-class yet.
Goretzka.
No, he is.
He's a very promising midfielder.
Goretzka plays in the MLS, and he's like a janitor there. Goretzka plays in Bayern.
But yeah, if we do business with Bayern, I don't know who it'll be for.
Sane. Probably.
It won't be for Son. Why would?
Well, who then?
I don't. No, but the thing is, Chris, why would Bayern let him go after this good form? They bought him for 60 million. It was like this dream signing, and then they finally get him. And he.
So who are we doing business for then? You reckon?
I have a feeling it could. They wouldn't give us Koeman, would they? They wouldn't give us.
He has
Koeman.
Bayern juice already. That's hilarious.
If they gave us Koeman, we could talk maybe, but
Well, yeah, but why would you want Coleman though? Because Coleman's already injury prone as well.
That's what I mean.
You guys talked me out of that one.
Yeah, true.
I don't want him anyway. We got better.
He's not Nabry.
I wouldn't mind him, but you guys told me he's.
We got better than that.
Changing my
mind. We got Timo, we got Kai Havertz, we got Mason Mount, we got Hudson Doyle. They're better than all of them.
You think? Actually, I'm not going to get into this certain player actually. Because I've spoken about the guy a lot today, and I don't want people thinking I don't like him, because I do like him. But anyway, sorry, Marshall, we waffled on a bit there.
Yeah, we went off tangent for a bit there, but anyways, Spurs. What are the next fixtures looking like? Let's see, Spurs. What do you got next?
You know what? Can Chelsea just go in January, and just actually buy Son? Just give them 100 million. They'd probably take it. I mean, imagine Lukaku and Son together. Oh,
Son's
the
made
Premier
a
League be
statement, man.
terrified.
Son
But Chris, I
wants
thought
to
we
stay.
can't just keep adding names. You said earlier.
Yeah, well, then let me see. Let me think. What's his name?
Pulisic.
Ziyech can go. Yeah, Ziyech can go.
That's Pause-ish. I'm joking.
I like Ziyech, but I would take Son over. I actually over all of our like attacking side players, like wingers or whatever you want to call them. I'd take him over anyone easily.
You guys are dicks. But anyways,
I'd take him over Timo.
No,
I
I'm
actually
kidding.
said that
I'm kidding.
I don't like any Tottenham players. I think I rate them, but
I rate
say I
Son so
like
high.
them. I fucking hate Tottenham.
I hate Tottenham, but some plays for shit
I hate
club.
all Tottenham players.
Really?
No, I'm joking. That's cold.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I mean, we'll see what's going to happen with Tottenham. Their next game is against Newcastle. They should be able to get a result. If they don't, we'll be talking about it right here on this channel. And then they have West Ham and Man United, so they have some tough games coming up. And if they're going to win, it can't just be the Sun show. They need Harry Kane to step up. And Daniel Levy, you should have sold him when you had the chance, bro. You got a little greedy, and now it's kind of backfiring on you, isn't it?
Yeah. They could have bought maybe Marlon or Andre Silva, who aren't better than Kane, but they're decent. They're decent players, I guess.
They've been doing better probably now, like better than 0 goals. Yeah, easily.
Well, to be fair, Marlon only has 1 goal in how many games for Dortmund so far this season? So, and
I don't know how many games he played.
7.
Did he play 7? What? Bundesliga?
7 games. I don't know if he started in every one of them. To be fair.
Yeah, I don't watch the league, so I don't know.
Let's just.
We let's continue. I don't know if you guys happen to watch this game. I do want to touch on it a little bit. The West Ham versus Brentford game.
No, I didn't see that.
No.
I did watch a little bit of it, and what a dramatic game. Brentford managed to get ahead, and of course, even with Kurt Zouma in that lineup, West Ham are struggling defensively. Man, they're just as open as a brothel in Czechoslovakia. But it's just
Marshall, you
they
can't
concede the
that
goal.
anymore. Come on, you don't offend any Czech people.
I mean, we'll let Kai be the judge of that. Anyways,
it's not Czechoslovakia anymore, Marshall. I'm joking.
Oh,
well, I'm not
Czech
joking.
Republic. Whatever.
Yeah.
Czech Republic. Sorry, Czech people. But so they concede first, and then 80th minute. It took them 80 minutes to do this. Antonio just disappearing act. No Antonio to save the day this time. But Jared Bowen gets a goal in the 80th minute. Looks like West Ham are gonna actually come out of this on top. And then literally the very last play of the game, Declan Rice fouls, gets a yellow. It was a tactical foul. Actually, no, it wasn't even Declan Rice. It was Ogbonna. Tactical foul, outside the box, free kick, crosses it in, and then the man, the myth, the legend, fucking...
Was Zuma playing that game?
He was.
Oh, why? He didn't get in there?
Wisa was subbed in, and he beat Zuma.
Oh, wow.
And got a goal. 90 minutes in stoppage time. 90 minutes plus 4. Brentford ended up getting a result. This Brentford team is they're our next opponents. So I wanted to bring it up a little bit.
They remind me of like Sheffield United. You know, one of those newcomer teams. They do.
No, they're better.
Because,
than that.
How are they better? Because like Sheffield literally was challenging for top 6.
They're more balanced.
No, Sheffield was playing good football.
No, they weren't. That's fucking.
In their first season, they was. They was.
It's not as good as Brentford's.
Will you see next season? Yeah, Brentford will struggle like.
Hey, I'm not saying
Sheffield.
that. I'm not saying that that they won't necessarily struggle. I'm saying is that they're a better team. They're a lot better.
I don't see a difference really. To be honest. I think
Chris,
it's
name me a player in that Sheffield United team that is as good as Ivan Toney.
McCulpick.
No, he's not. Exactly. My point. Hey,
he's only good against us.
All right? We've got a super chat.
Yeah. I was just about to read. I was gonna let you guys finish, but Gabriel A, thank you for
Thank
the
you.
£2 super chat. He says Kane to City lost opportunity worse than Shearer's story. Shearer.
Yeah,
Shearer's story.
Shearer would have been. He's still the leading goal scorer in Premier League history, but yeah, probably should have got a better move.
And I agree with him. I think Daniel Levy got very greedy. He should have just taken what Man City offered, and they wouldn't be in the situation they're in now. Like you can't. All right. I mean, we kind of did it with Hazard, but Hazard was an outstanding professional. But you can't expect to have a player in your team that doesn't want to play for your team and think he's going to perform just fine. When you have an upset player in the locker room like that, it's going to affect the team. Not only is it going to affect the player, but it's going to affect the team. Like, let's get it right. Like, it's not going to be just Kane. At some point, it's going to... Son's performances are going to drop a little, or someone else in the team is going to drop a little.
So now it never drops.
It does spread a little.
Son goes through purple patches of form and dips in and out.
Yeah.
No, he's carry that team
I
to
agree.
6th.
I just think that when there's someone as a big personality as big as Harry Kane in the locker room and he's upset, you're bound to bring some other people down with you. So
it's pathetic of Harry Kane.
It is pathetic of Harry Kane, but at the same time, like Daniel Levy should know. He should have known that this is bound to happen. He's obviously trying to force the move. Well, no, but Harry Kane is obviously trying to force the move.
This is Harry Kane's fault.
I mean, yeah.
Like he's the one who signed the contract. His agent, his brother, is part of his agent as well. They're just people said. Look at Jack Grealish. He was smart in this deal. Like if a top 4 team comes for you, let him go. Like that was part of the contract. Like if it's come a good price and everything, let him go. But Harry Kane didn't use his head or his agent or whatever, and they stuck at Tottenham. So why sign the contract if you want to look to move? It's just because he wants a good pay. He wants a good pay from Tottenham, but then if a big club like City who pay him high, he wants to leave.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't like it.
I just think it doesn't work for either party. I think the better move would have been taking your losses and still getting a good chunk of money out of Kane, but also Kane goes to Man City or wherever he wants to go, is happy there, and he does well for his career. And Tottenham isn't stuck with a deadbeat player right now that doesn't want to play for your club.
Same. If Kane went to City, we'd be done.
I mean, Zivo's got a point. It does help us. At the end of the day, I'm not complaining too much. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if he were at City, then City would be really tough right now. Which we will get to that game. We're moving a little slowly, but we're gonna get to that game. I didn't watch this game. Crystal Palace versus Leicester City. Crystal Palace putting up some performances. And Iheanacho finally starting for Leicester City. They're changing up some things with Leicester City. They had a 2-0 advantage going into the halftime, and then they dropped the ball the second half. Leicester City are not performing anywhere near how they were performing last season, and it's a little disappointing. Not gonna lie. I don't know if you guys have any input on that game.
All I know is that there's a couple of defensive mistakes from Palace.
Yeah, 100. I watched it. Yeah, I don't know who messed up, but
Anderson.
Hans. Yeah, he literally had the ball at him, and he just somehow not controlled it or nothing. And, I think it's what's his name who ran on and scored. I forgot his name. The second striker.
Iheanacho.
Iheanacho, yeah, he just ran on and scored. That was really bad defending. It just really was. I actually thought Crystal Palace was actually the better team when I was watching it. Leicester may got 2-0 up. They did, but they didn't play better. It's just lucky off an error off Crystal Palace. And I thought, who's the manager? What's his name? What's his name? It's popped out of my head. What's his name? Yeah. He actually made some good changes in that game. Actually changed the game.
He's actually not a bad manager, is he? He's playing.
No, he's not too bad. He's honestly.
I mean, he's definitely
he knows to make the right changes.
From the time we played it, he's definitely improved his tactics because now he's getting this Crystal Palace team to actually perform really well. Like,
I think
look at Gallagher. Gallagher's
as well, Marshall,
looking the best he's ever looked ever.
with
Yeah.
with Vieira as well. The first few games when you're taking over a new team and you want to change the way they've played for years completely, I think it will take time. So yeah, they're starting to adapt to it, and it's working.
I mean, good for them. I mean, they need it. They have talented players. We'll see what happens at the end of the season because I did say they were going to get relegated, but I mean, at the way they're playing right now, probably not. Probably not. They're playing good football. Good for them. They're getting good results where they have no business getting results, beating Spurs and all that. But we'll see. We'll see where it goes. Leicester City, absolutely poor. James Maddison. I don't even know if James Maddison even started. He's been so bad.
He's shocking.
Yeah, he's been so bad. Harvey Barnes still recovering, obviously from the knee injury. He's getting his way back up.
He got assistant again.
Yeah. He's working his way back up. Adamana Lookman in the team as well. He's working himself into the lineup, but not Harvey Bonds. Madison's been so bad. He's been dropped out of the lineup. It's sad actually, considering how much talent is there. But we move to probably
contract. I don't know what it means.
What'd you say, real Chris?
I was reading C1 London. Talisman's on this. Last year on his contract.
Last year's contract.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, Tillmans is an interesting player. We'll see. We'll see. We don't need him if our midfield keeps performing well. But this is the game everyone wants to talk about. That's the game we want to talk about. I think this is the game every one of us watched. Liverpool versus Man City. This game was a fucking thriller. Let me tell you. First half, it was all Man City.
Yeah.
I really thought they needed to make the most out of their advantage, their opportunities. They weren't. You could see they need that striker. They really need that striker. But yeah, like Man City had Liverpool at the.
Oh shit! WhatsApp's back. Sorry. WhatsApp's back.
Oh, yeah.
Breaking news, guys. WhatsApp's back.
That's good. But yeah, like they had Liverpool pinned back. Liverpool was not creating anything in that first half. Second half comes on, Klopp does his talk, his German whatever he says, and this team came out guns blazing. Sadio Mane with opened it up. What was it? It was a mistake, right? That Man City. No. What happened that Sadio Mane ended up scoring? The first goal was like
Salah dropped deep, and it was a beautiful run, and he played it through to Mane. It was wonderful.
Yeah. I remember now. No, it was Curtis Jones. Curtis Jones ended up playing it to Mane, didn't it?
No, Salah got a goal and assist.
Oh, okay. I thought it was Curtis Jones.
Jones was going to build up though. So yeah.
Yeah. I think the two times that Man City conceded were just amateur mistakes in the defense. Like they were asleep. The Sadio Mane scores. Phil Foden reacted with a wonderful goal, like absolutely wonderful goal from Phil Foden. Hits side netting. And then Salah sees that, turns around and says, "I'll do you one better."
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant individual play. But come on, Man City. You made Salah look a lot better than he is. Like,
and to be fair, Marshall,
yeah.
I think Salah is actually kind of an underrated dribbler in a way, though, to be fair. I do think he is underrated. I don't think he's not a specialist dribbler, but he's done well.
He just made Man City's defense look bad.
Salah, on form. I stress on form. He's got to be top 2 players in the world on form. He's got him and Benzema, I'd say.
On form. Okay.
Yeah,
I
and
mean, that's arguable, but
weak for
that's
finish
another
as
show.
well.
Yeah, it was a brilliant finish. Hits the post, goes in, and at this point, I don't know where this game is going to go. I thought it was going to be a stalemate going into the half,
You
and
thought
then
it was going to be 0-0, didn't you?
I thought it was going to be 0-0, and then at one point I thought it was just going to be 1-1, and then fucking Kevin De Bruyne with I don't know why it says Kevin De Bruyne here. It was more of an own goal than it was Kevin
It is
De
on
Bruyne,
target. That's why
the massive
it's
deflection.
classed as a score.
Matip with the massive deflection. I think if Matip isn't in the way, I think Alisson does get it. But
Probably.
oh man, Matip. Considering how bad Van Dijk has been, and I don't mean like bad as in like terrible, but like he just hasn't been the same Van Dijk since the injury. But Matip has been stepping up, and he had such a good performance, and then just that deflection, I think, killed it for him. 2-2 ends up being the result. It was a fantastic game. I remember, Will, you were saying that this could be a classic match, like a real classic, and I think it could be. It was a really, really good match. Will, let's start out with you. What did you think of the game overall? What'd you come out with?
I'm going to start with City. First off, they put Liverpool to shame. Liverpool came out in the second half, looked a lot better, but Foden is unbelievably clear of every young player in the Premier League. I don't care.
I beg a diff on that, but
I don't care who you bring me. You can bring me anyone.
Greenwood's better.
No, he's not.
I think he's a better attacker.
He's a striker, Chris. He's a striker.
No, but he plays a winger a lot of times. He's a striker who never plays strike. He plays strike. He's a striker who never plays strike.
Start of the season. But that's not my fault they signed Ronaldo, Chris.
He literally plays wing most of his time, so I'm just going to class him.
I'm not having it though, because Foden's an 8.
But you said
8/10.
You say best youngster though.
Guys. Keep it on Foden. Keep it on Foden.
Let me finish, Chris. You're telling me that a player that has performed well when he's played as an 8/10 and as a winger to a top class level isn't clear of everyone else. Greenwood had an adaptation period as a winger. It took him a lot of time, and he still can't nail down a place. Foden,
I think he has at the minute.
Chris, Foden at the minute has nailed down a position in that City team that just won the league.
That's true.
Him and Mbappe are clear of all the young players in the world. I'm sorry, clear. They're both much better than everyone else.
This is definitely another debate for another show, but continue what you were saying.
Bernardo Silva is unbelievable.
Oh my God, dude! He had so many moments of individual brilliance as well, and he could have had one of the best goals in of the Prem this season. And who waffled it?
Oh,
Foden.
And Foden. Okay, never mind. You know what, Will? What you're saying, all down the drain because of that.
One miss. It was exactly. But it was a great save by Alisson. Really good goalkeeping.
Yeah. But continue what you were saying.
Salah, unbelievable again, of course. Matip, I thought had good moments, but I thought it was just a very good end-to-end game in the second half. Became more open. De Bruyne, I don't think was actually that good apart from the goal. To be fair, I thought he was actually.
I think he's still finding his feet.
Yeah, I thought he was one of the poorer players on the pitch. But yeah, that's all I can say really. I thought it was a good game, very insane. Best of the weekend.
But okay, Will. I mean, I've been saying this for a while, and I'm still letting the agenda run deep.
Oh no.
This, I think. Well, okay. So obviously, we have one of the best defenses in the game versus one of the best offenses in the game right now in the league. With Man City having a fantastic defense. And Liverpool having a fantastic offense. That being said, though, even without a striker, Man City still happened to score and get on the board, and Liverpool could not solidify enough in the back to maintain the lead. Do you still think that this Liverpool team can get into the top 4 with this defense?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, I feel like they've been really poor, and I feel like not enough people want to talk about that. But real Chris, how do we feel about this game? How do we feel about Man City? Can they be had at? Or
Do you want to go to
do
Super
you
Chat
think...
first?
Oh shit, I didn't see that. My bad.
Yeah.
Oh,
Let's go
Gerard
Super
O'Connor.
Chat,
Thank you so much for the super chat. Gerard O'Connor donating €5. Hi guys, can we get those 3 points lost to City back against them or Liverpool? Great second half of football. What is he referring to? Like the 3 points we lost to
City?
Oh, getting them back from either one of those games. I mean, I'm happy with the point we drop. I'm okay with the point we drop against Liverpool considering the circumstances, but that City game, man, I see how Liverpool played them and the mistake that we made of switching to a 3-5-2, and I wish I could take that back. But unfortunately, it is how it is. Hopefully in the second half of the season when we get them again, we do win. We do win that game. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, real Chris, what did you want to talk about? Do you think this?
Yeah. There's a
do you
few
think this
things
Liverpool
maybe.
side is good enough to get top four? Because you've seen like they just drew against
They will.
Brentford 3-3. Like guys, we didn't do the rivals show last week because we want to do the call-ins, but we didn't talk about how Liverpool just drew 3-3 against Brentford. Like
no, yeah, they did, but like Brentford, they just to me Liverpool had a bad defensive game that game. You know, like it's one of those games, but like Liverpool will get top four this season. They got like a bum like Ollie like controlling Man United, who's probably might drop out of top four. So I think Liverpool are fine. And I actually thought Bernardo Silva's man of the match to me because Bernardo, I thought he's doing everything in that game, everything, and he should have got assists as well, like Navid. But you know, Navid is a good save. Foden maybe scuffed it a bit. I don't know, but like Bernardo, he was just everywhere in that game. He's amazing. He's running everywhere. He's creating. I didn't know what he wasn't doing. He was just doing everything. And I thought Gabriel Jesus as well. He had a good game as well. He's running through players and everything and creating. He got a assist, right? As I remember.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Yeah. He got a great assist to Foden, I think. Yeah, Foden. And Foden put it in pretty nicely. And Foden did play really well too, of course. Like I don't think he's actually man of the match, but
He wasn't.
Who was your man of the match, Will?
Gotta be Salah.
Salah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be because Salah did really well actually. I thought Liverpool.
Oh come on, Daniel. Foden's way better than Saka. Come on, Mount.
I was gonna say Mount then.
No, he is clear of Saka. Mount. I think Mount is more important to us though. So
Mount can do what all Foden does, like attack and midfielder as well, though. But
he's better.
Foden can attack better.
Mount's a better midfielder, but Foden's a better attacker. That's what I'd say. I would not swap. I would definitely not swap them though, because I think Mount is so important to our squad.
What was I gonna say?
He's still okay. That's fine.
I thought, do you think City got a bit lucky with that massive deflection? Because, like you said, Marshall, do you think he would have saved it, right? Like Alisson would have saved it. So, did City get lucky?
Yeah. I think Liverpool got lucky that City didn't score more goals. To be honest,
in the first half,
especially that first half.
Well. Didn't even mention Mount.
Especially that first half. That first half was so bad.
We didn't even talk about was it Cancelo? No, Rodri's block. How the heck did Fabinho not put that in?
Rodri's block too. That was a fantastic fucking block from Rodri.
Yeah, but Fabinho should have put that in. Like you're literally right from the goal. Hit it first. No, hit it straight away when you see it open. But he took a little bit of time. But it's a fantastic block by Rodri. Like very good block. He took his opportunity and took it. Like he did a good block. So yeah, like that was a crazy moment as well. What could have led differently. Yeah, I think that's all I've got to say about the game, really. I think because you guys talked about most of it, and I talked about other things like Bernardo and Gabriel Jesus.
Fair enough.
No,
Bernardo Silva played fantastically, and you know what? For a player that went from being outcasted last season to now being what seems to be a key player in Pep's team because he's been putting out really good performances. Good on him. And you know what? Hey, Bernardo Silva, if you want to come to Chelsea, you're more than welcome. Doors wide open.
Jam, I agree.
Anyways, guys.
I didn't say Foden was the best youngster ever. Mbappe's still better, obviously. He's done more on the big stage.
Anyways, do we want to send out the link?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put the link out, guys. You guys come on here, have your say, tell us what you think about the Liverpool Man City game or whatever other game you would like to talk about. Tell us what you think about Real Chris's Foden agenda.
I don't know, Foden agenda. Just obey Messiah's will, I don't think.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
He's a great player though, fantastic player. I think we're watching too much beef for Foden, that's what it is.
No. Chris, I've been saying this.
I'm joking, Will, come on.
Tell us how bad you think Harry Kane's been. You know, do the thing you want to do.
Or how good if you've been watching with your eyes closed.
Oh my God. I mean, the link is
Daniel,
out,
you know I love Mount.
You can do whatever you want when you come here, except get us banned. Don't get us banned. Don't do that.
What's up?
But yeah,
I didn't say that Foden was the best young player ever. I didn't say that. Daniel's joking in the chat. Daniel's joking. I didn't say that.
Yeah, of course. Foden's more talented than Mason Mount, but I think Mason Mount's actually more useful and Foden.
Us, for us,
and even in international, Mason Mount shows up more than Foden in international, and that's clear.
Of course. We're not doing it, Chris. Let's not do this debate. I love Mount. You know, I'm not gonna.
Just a quick debate.
Different players.
There is a debate to be had.
There is a debate.
I know. Mount's clear.
Okay. I shouldn't have said clear of every youngster in the Premier League.
Yeah, that's mad to me when you said that.
But he
that triggered real Chris.
No, I just rate a few others. That's all.
Chris,
like Greenwood and Mount. For stars.
It's true, Jim. That's why I compared him to Greenwood because I
don't think Greenwood's that great. That's my opinion.
I think he's a great finisher.
You don't think he's that good? Oh, come on.
I think he needs to develop more still.
He's great.
I think he still needs more time to develop.
He can use both feet. He's very skillful.
That's a dangerous thing.
Real Chris, you can use both feet, and you don't see me praising you, man. I can't
use both feet like that. No
left
way.
And right.
Come on.
Both feet shooting. He can literally use his left foot just as good as his right foot. It's so strong.
One of the best finishers in the Premier League. He is.
Oh yeah, 100%. No, he is, Marshall. He is
the best. Maybe one of the best young finishers.
Him and Son are probably the best finishers in the Premier League.
Oh, stop! I disagree with that.
Who are you gonna say?
Who am I gonna say better finishers than Mason Greenwood?
Yes, Timo Werner is a baller. I agree. I think everybody's actually starting to see the light with Timo Werner as well. Like
better finishers than Mason Greenwood. Salah, Kane.
No.
Yeah, come on,
Salah needs a lot of chances.
Are you kidding me? Salah doesn't need that many chances.
I'm pretty sure
he needs a lot of chances after time.
Salah doesn't need that many chances.
Greenwood outperforms his XG better than Salah. I'm pretty sure.
It is. He doesn't need as much chances as Salah.
Kane last season, not this season.
No, Kane. You can argue Kane, of course. Kane's a brilliant shooter normally.
Go on. Yeah, I agree with Daniel. I think Son's the only one you could actually argue with. I can't lie right now.
Lukaku.
Is there no one jumping in?
Lukaku is an elite goal scorer, but he's not a better finisher than Greenwood or Son. Better player, don't get me wrong. Not a better finisher.
Wait, who's not a better finisher?
I don't think Lukaku's a better finisher than Greenwood. I think he's a better player.
No, he's probably not. You know what? Like with Greenwood, he can shoot at both feet, and that just adds to it. Like when you can shoot at both feet, and like you get put in a tricky position with your weaker foot, but it's not really weaker because he can use that left foot just as good as his right. Like you don't know which is his good foot because, well, it's bad foot. I mean, because it's just as good, and he can finish with his strong foot.
That's fair.
So that's why I always put him as one of the best finishers in the league, like top 2, top 3, you'd say.
Trying to think, who else is there?
You think?
My God, Jem! I didn't say. Oh, I wanted Lukaku before everyone, man, and I'm getting this.
That is true.
I'm getting this. I wanted Lukaku over Haaland. I wanted him over Haaland. I'm getting this. Come on, I didn't say that. You're putting words in my mouth. I said Greenwood was a better finisher, but then I said he's the best in the Prem.
The only way I argue with Greenwood is because, he can shoot both feet if he gets put in it. Well, then again, Lukaku is decent with his weak foot.
Lukaku's an excellent finisher. No one's even doubting that.
Fucking.
He's a world-class goal scorer.
Neil Mopay, gentlemen. Neil Mopay.
No.
Actually, Antonio. You could argue. Maybe not Antonio. Actually, never mind.
You really just went for wait. Antonio better finisher?
No.
Antonio
needs a lot of chances.
Yeah.
Antonio needs a lot of chances.
You really just
no, but like Antonio, like let's get it right though. Like if Antonio stayed fit, let's have it right. If Antonio stays fit, he's one of the best fucking goal scorers in the Prem.
Better than Bamford.
Yeah, no, okay, I'll give you that. He is better than Bamford. Bamford's a terrible finisher.
Him and Ings him and Ings are good.
Bamford and Ings or
no,
Antonio and
not
Ings?
Bamford. He's trash. Hot trash.
I mean, your Bamford agenda is fucking working.
It's not an agenda.
Now.
He's been awful this season.
He's not a clinical finisher either. He needs a lot of chances.
He
definitely needs a lot of chances.
I think he's barring last season. Timo's more clinical. Barring last season.
Timo, you guys see more of a clinical Timo this season. You know what? He didn't really have many chances in that Southampton game. He put two away.
He still scored, yeah.
He put two away.
And he scored against Villa, Chris, you know?
Like he's getting goals this season. So a better Timo this season, like I said. I did call it. It's gonna happen.
I'm hoping these few games. I'm hoping these few games where he's scored is a sign
Hassan.
of better performances. Hassan joined us.
Yeah,
Hassan, what's going on, bro?
the king of Brexit FEL, man.
Let's have it right.
Yeah. How you guys been, man, lately?
Yeah, we're
doing okay, man. Doing okay. What you saying, bro? What'd you think? What'd you think of the Man City game? What'd you think of Real Chris's Phil Foden agenda? Also, what do you think of my Mason? What do you think of my Mason Greenwood agenda? Apparently,
I mean, starting off with the Man City and Liverpool games. I mean, for these last couple of years, man, their games have been crazy. Like, regardless of like what kind of game it was like the Champions League games, the Premier League games. It's always been a high-scoring game, and Salah just scored like a Messi-esque goal. Probably, maybe even goal of the season.
Yeah, it is so far.
It reminded me of like a Hazard against Liverpool. Actually, that Salah goal, like how he drifted in. In the League Cup game, I think.
It's literally Messi's goal, like that Boateng, the one where he spun Boateng. It's exactly like that. It's just
Messi
like
they're both similar anyway. Both brilliant dribblers.
I mean, Liverpool fans were saying that he's arguably like the best winger in the world. I mean, Salah so far has been proving it. His stats have been backing it up as well. And yeah, I mean, Crystal Palace lately, man. Vieira's been sorting them out recently, and I believe if that was any other manager, I'm not even joking. If that was any other manager, they were down and out. They were coming back from 2-0. And
yeah, that's a fair assessment. That's a fair assessment. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, if they had like Roy Hodgson.
Yeah, I mean, let's have it right. Fucking.
Hey, you kept saying that a lot in this stream. I chat next.
Redneck.
Yeah, thank fucking Kai.
It would not be funny, depending on how many both of them score. If Timo
it would be a little bit funny, actually.
Wait, Chris. No, Chris.
I see it.
Chris, let me finish.
Yeah, I know.
If Timo gets if Timo gets 6 goals and Lukaku gets 5, it will not be funny. If Timo gets 22 and Lukaku gets 20, yes, it would be funny, I guess.
Yeah, I think Redneck meant it that way. Like, you know what?
Yeah. But I just had to
I think the funny side is because people said Timo can't score nothing. If he did that, it'd be quite funny, and that'd be amazing for Chelsea if we got like 40 goals between the two.
Oh yeah.
We will definitely win the league by the looks of them because we got a solid defense.
I wanted to ask Hassan this question, and I know it's the agenda, man. Let me have this, okay? Hassan, do you think this Liverpool's defense is going to be good enough to get them in the top 4 place, or do you think they're just going to have a point where their offense isn't firing off and they just can't keep clean sheets? What do you think?
Because if you're talking about specifically defense, I do believe their defense is good enough to get them into top 4, but the squad as a whole, and if you're
sorry, Hassan, sorry.
you get a tattoo of him if he does that. You get a tattoo of him. Joking, but yeah, I mean, with their Champions League fixtures as well, like people are saying, like, who is it that has got group of death again? Was it Group A?
I think it is Liverpool. I mean, and Man City too. They have a
yeah. Man City's got group of death, but Liverpool, in terms of quality, have arguably got group of death as well. And
not Man City. I'm sorry, Man United, because they have Villarreal. They have the young boys in Atalanta. That's a tough group, isn't it? Or no? I don't know, guys.
I think
Ignore
it's
me.
Group A.
It is definitely Liverpool. Yeah,
but Liverpool's up there, and based on their fixtures and stuff, I think the squad will burn out. I think the squad will just burn out. They'll get into top 4, but I don't think they'll win anything.
Do you think that
this year they needed to invest? No, with Salah there. I think Salah will be enough to carry you.
I mean, their offense. Let's remember last season. Let's remember last season, guys. That Liverpool offense did dry out at one point. They weren't able to get goals, and they did struggle. Like, their injuries were at the back, not at the front. And there came a point where they were drying up, you know. Right now, I feel like they have been winning games because they have been outscoring the opponent. We'll see what happens. We'll see. But you guys hear me say it every show. I think Liverpool are going to start dropping points. They have harder fixtures coming up now. And they're already dropping points, you know.
I believe United will drop more because you have to look at United.
Yeah, no, that's not. Look, bro, I'll bet on that one too. That's not hard to say. But Abs, welcome back to the channel, bro. What you saying, man? How you been?
Chilling, bro. What's going on?
Not much, man. Fucking eyeing out Real Chris's Phil Foden agenda. I'm not gonna let you live that one down, Real Chris. I don't know why.
Fuck yeah, I have a Phil Foden agenda. He's not a Chelsea player.
Yeah, that's cool, Chris. You can have that agenda. I have a lot of agendas, Chris, you know.
Now I have a Mason Greenwood agenda, apparently. But,
as long as you don't have agendas about your own players, it's all right. Cough, cough, Kai. Cough, cough. That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Kai never has agendas. What are you talking about, Will? He's very nice to all our players.
Let's not summon Kai, all right? Well, Abs, what are you saying, bro? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, man. First of all, Daniel, listen. The amount of disrespect you put on some of our players, like Havertz and Werner, saying they need to be scoring 40, 30 goals and all that. Bro, there was a time where you didn't have to score flipping ridiculous numbers of goals to prove you were a baller. Zinedine Zidane was never really a guy who put up ridiculous numbers in terms of if you looked at the stats of what he still put up fantastic numbers, but he wasn't a guy who you looked at for his numbers. You looked at him for his all-round game. So start judging Havertz for his all-round game. And remember, he's 22. It's still a new division, and it takes time for some of these ballers to settle in. So line of disrespect for King Kai, please. And also, you see where it is against Southampton.
Wait, what did you say about King Kai?
King Kai,
Jesus
bro.
Christ, real Chris. Forget it.
Shut up, Chris. Keep going. You're going to argue with it.
Yeah, I lost that.
Keep going, Abs. Keep
It's not
going.
an argument thing. I'm not trying to, say, it's Havertz FC or anything like that.
No. I'm not saying you. Chris loves to argue. Just carry on.
I mean, he's not wrong, but yeah, carry on, Abs.
You see me arguing now, huh?
Yeah. You said quiet because you know it's true. Now shush.
Jesus Christ, but nice. So you know what it is? So obviously we got the win against Southampton. It's actually it's the first time we beat them at home since December 2017.
I was saying that, man.
Which is the most jarring thing.
You know what I was saying, Abs? It was so funny. When they scored the pen against us, I was saying on Discord, I was like, "Bro, what the fuck is it with Southampton? Why can't we fucking beat this damn team?"
I don't know.
We actually managed to get the result.
And Timo saved us.
Yeah, Timo did save us.
On my knife, it's actually fucked, like. But here's the thing, though: if we're gonna try to win the league, everyone always says, you have to always beat the big teams and all that." But for me, the most important thing is these teams mid-table, like Everton, Southampton, fucking Crystal Palace, Aston Villa. These are the kind of teams you need to be getting 6 points from every season if you're trying to win the league. Barring 1 or 2 iffy-ish results. In the last few years, we haven't been doing that. If we can do that and start improving our form against the big 6 sides, such as, well, not Arsenal and Tottenham because they're not part of it, but if we start sorting ourselves out against, Man United, Liverpool, and Man City, and nick a few points here and there, and make sure we clean up with everyone else in the division, then we can easily win this league. Because ultimately, it's the Premier League is not 4 teams, it's 19. And from them 19 teams, you can beat any given one of them on a day. You can lose them on a day. We just need to make sure we do our job. We got a very nice run coming up. Brentford won't be easy, but we have to go do our job, and we have to go pick up 3 points there. Who is it after that? Newcastle or Norwich? Is it? I think it's Norwich.
Norwich. Then we got Malmo in the Champions League, I think.
Same thing. Malmo. Yeah. Oh yes, Malmo. Where I get to go see my girl. We love to see it. But yeah, so
no, it's Malmo. It's Malmo at home first. I'm sorry, it's Malmo at home.
No, but then I swear Malmo away is the second one because they normally have the same 2 games back to back.
It's back to back, I think.
Yeah, it is.
All right, calm. There we go, lads on tour in Sweden. We love to see it. But yeah, that's about it.
Abs, I do want to ask you, man, about. I want to ask someone who isn't that biased. I'm sure you're a little more grounded than someone I know. When it comes to Havertz, does it concern you that he's just, we saw him in the Euros and he looked flames. Like he literally looked like he was on fire. He was going to take over the world. He had that confidence of winning the Champions League. He was fantastic. But this season under Chelsea, and don't get me wrong, man, I love Havertz. He is my favorite player on this team. He's part of the reason I'm even paying attention to Chelsea this season. Or last season, rather. Are you concerned with the fact that he's just not been firing off at all? Like, we're playing him in a position that he actually likes, which is like a cam position. Or, is it the fact that now that we have a striker, he isn't playing the false 9? Is it, bad form? Is it he's playing as one of the attacking 10s? Like, what is it for you that you think isn't making Havertz tick, and are you concerned?
To be fair, I think it's just teething problems. Like, if I'm being honest, I think if you look at especially the Arsenal and Liverpool game, I think Havertz was one of our better players. You see that second goal which Reece James scored, it doesn't happen without Havertz's link up down the left and his movement. And even against Liverpool, came up clutch again in a big game. And that's one thing we can say about Kai Havertz is normally in the big games, he does come up with some form of magic. The thing is, he's always been a slow start. If you look at his previous history, most of his output actually comes after January, which we even saw last year. His output started to increase from when Tuchel came in, which is generally a trend in him. I've always said about Havertz, I think he's very talented. I think on natural ability, I'm not trying to turn this into a debate, but on natural ability, I think he's got more natural ability than Matt. But natural ability only gets you so far. And for me, part of it's the system, part of it's teething problems, because I don't think he's actually worked with a striker like Lukaku in his life. So hopefully, even for Germany, you don't really have a striker like that. And Leverkusen didn't have it. So, I don't know, it's just teething problems, I guess, Hopefully, he can just sort out them few things. Suarez final pass, and also what he needs to do is he needs to stop occupying space with centre backs. If you saw him against Juventus, which is part of the reason why I didn't really get onto him or Lukaku and more onto Ziyech, the man had no time on the ball. Him and Lukaku were both marked out the game by Bonucci and De Ligt. If you rewatch that game, now Havertz wasn't playing as a floating 10. He was basically playing as a number 9 at that point.
To be fair, though, Abs, with that, you look at the shape. and you look at our pass map, and you look at how Juventus set up, there was space between the lines. Lukaku was occupying the centre backs. There was space for Havertz and Ziyech to drift into, for Jorginho and Kovacic to make that pass, and they just didn't move. They didn't move into that space enough. Then the second half, Allegri changed it, and we had less space. So I get what you're saying. I think Havertz was better than Ziyech against Juventus, but I think he was average.
I think personally, I think it's a subjective thing. I think for me, it's what frustrates you more. Like for me, I think the reason I don't get so frustrated with Ziyech is because I see the pass that Ziyech is trying to do. I see the through balls that could have been. I see the crosses that could have been. You know, if the defender just didn't get there, or if they were sleeping in that one moment, then it's a brilliant fucking cross. It's a brilliant fucking pass. It's a brilliant fucking through ball. But he just hasn't been getting them off. And it's like, I get how it's really frustrating for people, but at least for me, it's like, well, shit, at least he's trying, and at least he sees the play.
Is that type of player, Marshall?
But with Havertz, that game, specifically, we're talking about that Juve game. With Havertz, for me, it was like, bro, if you can't get dribbles off, this is the same thing with Pulisic. If you can't get dribbles off, just fucking pass the ball, bro. Like the whole game, trying dribbles over and over again, not getting anything off.
With Havertz as well, he's got to affect. He's got to.
So it's whatever frustrates you the most. He's got
to start affecting the game when he's not playing well on the ball.
No, and I'm not trying to be defensive. I'm just saying, it's whatever you find more frustrating, right? Like
I find them both as equally frustrating this season.
I prefer the Ziyech type of bad games where like. You see, he's trying in a sense to get the ball and get the pass and the creativity going, but it's just not coming off. Whereas, like, and you've seen me do this, Will, with Pulisic, where, like, bro, you keep losing the ball trying to do these dribbles and it's just not coming off. Like, just stop. Like, those are the two different types of frustrations. And the dribbles frustrate me a lot more than the attempted passes, because it's kind of like to have Timo. Like Timo does everything right, but just doesn't get the finish. It's like a different type of frustration. But at the end of the day, like a better Cam, a better number 10, a better like a De Bruyne or a Bruno, they pull off those passes. So there's no excuse for Ziyech either. Like, like at the end of the day, both had terrible fucking games. And I'm just hoping that either or at some point turn up, because Havertz has all the time in the world. He's young as fuck. Ziyech, he doesn't. And if he keeps playing like this fucking bullshit, he's out by January. I'm even saying it. Like, I'm even saying it. If he can't perform like he performed in preseason, I think he's out by January. I think he's looking for another club by January.
I think we called it, Marshall, as well. Like, that injury might have messed it up, and it looks like it has again.
Yeah, unfortunately.
It's the sad truth, right?
Yeah. But what's good?
The only reason why I disagree with that is that's what makes me more frustrated with Ziyech, is he seems to have more space than Havertz in these games. Like, if you notice, I don't really want to keep bringing it up, but even against Juventus, Ziyech was given all the time in the world. The man literally had the freedom of the entire city of Turin and made nothing out of it.
But to be fair, Abs, I'm not Ziyech's best defender. I don't really rate him at all. Oh, well, I do rate. He's a decent player, but when
the truth comes out,
sorry, I think he's a decent player. Like, I can't call him crap. He's a Premier League footballer.
Yeah.
But with Ziyech, when there's nothing for him, or no movement, or there's no freedom for Havertz or Lukaku, it's very hard to create for someone. Like with Jorginho and Kovacic, people say they had an awful game. I don't think they had an awful game because of the context of what they were given and how the other players around them were playing.
Yeah, but that goes back to the thing, though. It's also Lukaku as well, because I think as a collective, our forward line, they need to start.
I feel like people don't talk about Lukaku enough.
They need to, what's it called? Because
we needed a team up.
It's not. You can't just, because listen, Lukaku is a great finisher, but I'm getting on to him now as well. You can't just use the same thing of occupying a centre back and expect to open up space. It's clearly not working. You have to move around and do it. Benzema does it. Lewandowski does it. Ronaldo does it. And so 100%. That's where what people give Lukaku a bit too much of a bite. It's not all his fault, as Havertz and Ziyech were a lot worse in the two teams they played. but he needs to sort himself out as well, because if he's not,
Yeah.
if he's doing the same thing, it's not working, they'll just get found out.
Yeah, no, and Abs, I'm glad you brought that up because I feel like that's something people don't talk about enough. The fact that, especially in that game, if you see that you're not getting the ball where you're currently positioned in, then do what Drogba used to do back in the day. He would come back to the midfield, sometimes drop all the way to defense just to get the damn ball. You know, like sometimes you gotta do that shitty part of the game where you have to come out of position to be a part of the play and make something happen, not just wait for the ball in your position and hope for an opportunity over by the attacking third, occupying a center back space like you had mentioned. But guys, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up here. We did an hour 45, brilliant stream. We're gonna be doing some more stuff along the international break. We're not sure what quite yet, but we will be coming out with some content for you guys, call-in shows and all that shit. Well, we've been trying to do that more often for you guys to get you guys more involved. But guys, if you're here, if you're watching, make sure you smash that like button. Also, if you're watching in the future, leave a comment so that we can read it and let us know what you thought. If you agree with some of these opinions, if you disagree, something that we maybe forgot to mention, you want to add on, we do read the comments. So yeah, let us know in the comments down below. Share the video if you'd like to. Subscribe if you're brand new. Check out the description. You'll see my channel on there. Help me hit 100 subscribers, please. Also, join the Discord. We always are on there talking, hanging out, watching the games together, and literally watching the games together.
That's when we're mainly there.
Yeah, on the weekends we're mostly there. A great community. We even have the chat, the forums there too. Like everyone talks. So yeah, definitely join our Discord. Probably one of the more active Discords out there when it comes to football channels or football YouTube. And yeah, the Twitter links to Real Chris and Will and all of them. Yeah, am I forgetting anything? I don't think I am.
No,
but we will be having another stream at some point this week. We'll let you guys know. We'll give you a heads up. But guys, thank you so much for watching. This has been the No Filter Rival Show. I have been your host, Marshalldbdx. Catch us next time whenever we stream.